Do you ever have days in which your attention is just all over the place? Your thoughts move from one random thing to another, and you find yourself either worrying about what might happen in the future, or brooding over events that may have occurred in the past, or both. As a result, your otherwise perfectly good day gets ruined by low mood, a sense of foreboding, or a mess of entangled emotions. If our attention is unrestrained, jumping as it might from one thing to another, we will experience emotional agitation. So what's going on with us? When we're forced to deal with the inevitable challenges that life presents us with, we might naturally feel disorientated, and therefore in danger of getting lost. We might then be tempted to look to the past or the future to regain our bearings. But doing this only produces a sort of mental blur, a confusion of what will be or what has already been. It's a bit like we're treading water in a whirlpool of uncertainty, while at the same time longing for some clarity and direction. Perhaps it's not too surprising that we might sometimes flounder in this way. It turns out our problem-solving human mind craves to know where we are in our life journey. It yearns for orientation. Given that our memory of the past is unreliable, and the future is unlikely to pan out exactly the way we imagine it might, the only reality we are left with is that of the present moment. So if we are to regain our emotional foothold and enjoy a life lived with purpose, direction, and meaning, it is to the now that we need to turn our attention. Let's take a moment to consider what we're working with here. We know that paying attention is a mental ability that involves us being aware or noticing. And if we think about it, we also realize we have the ability to consciously direct our attention to where we'd like it to be. Our attention is a bit like a spotlight that can be shone and focused in different directions and on different objects. Just as the spotlight will light up what it shines on, our attention will illuminate the thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations we focus on. Neuroscientist Chris Irons, in his book The Compassionate Mind Workbook, a step-by-step guide to developing your compassionate self, outlines some useful observations about the nature of attention. The first of these is the one I've just mentioned. That is, our attention is movable and can be consciously directed. Next, he points out that while it is possible for us to direct our attention, doing so can be quite difficult, or at least take some effort on our part. Then he tells us that attention can play the body. So what does he mean by this? According to Irons, the things we pay attention to light up in our mind and body, while the things that we don't pay attention to literally go out of mind. Of course, this is similar to the way in which a spotlight will illuminate whatever it's focused on, leaving everything else as it does in relative darkness. We might also think of our attention as a camera lens, which can either zoom in and give greater detail to what it's focused on, or zoom out to reveal a bigger picture view that provides context and more perspective. So why is any of this important? And how might it improve our emotional well-being, focus, and productivity? With applied mindfulness, we learn to pay attention on purpose, repeatedly bringing our awareness back to what's happening in the present moment. Doing this allows us to notice much quicker when unhelpful things are going on with us. We also become skilled at getting ourselves back on track when we find we have strayed off course, as we're likely to do from time to time. This life skill can be particularly helpful at those times when we are engaged in a battle between one thought and another, or on those occasions when our attention is hijacked by circular thoughts, or the types of strong feelings that, if ignored too long, may cause us to spiral into a problematic state of mind. Mindfully paying attention even changes the nature of the emotions we experience. And of course, it gives us more choice in the way we respond to whatever is going on at the time. The body scan is a traditional tried and tested meditation practice that helps train our brain to pay attention to what's happening in the present moment without judgment. In time, it can help us embody this essential mindfulness skill. In our next video, we'll be looking at a somewhat counterintuitive approach to life. Be curious, pay attention, and expect life to be different.